I sometimes wonder, would I be better off if I just let AI do the investing for me? It can't do any worse than I am, right? I asked a bunch of different AI models to come up with different trading strategies, and I have to say, some of them get really weird. Will I become richer than Warren Buffett himself by using these, or will I end up violently losing all my money in the span of a couple hours? The last one is especially insane, so make sure you stick around. First, we have ChatGPT, whom I asked to make a technical analysis strategy. This strategy is only meant to be used during the first or last hour of the trading day, where the market is supposedly the most active. On our chart, we draw the 9 and 21 period moving average as well as the relative strength index or RSI. A moving average just shows you the average price over the previous days at that point, and the RSI is a scale from 0 to 100 that tells you if the stock is overbought or oversold, with a higher number being the former. So GPT is telling us to buy a stock if the RSI is above 50, and the 9 moving average just crossed above the 21 period moving average, which apparently indicates bullish momentum. Seems simple enough. I'm only going to be giving each strategy 2 tries since I don't want this video to take like 14 years to make. Need to feed my family. I found new Wella stock, which is a biotech penny stock. What a combo. It's down like 25% today, given it's a biotech penny stock, so it might be poised to rebound according to the strategy. It's the closing hour of the day, so let's just buy and shut back soon. Here goes nothing. The stock proceeded to drill further and I lost $7,000. A fake money. I lose enough money myself, I don't need AI speeding up that process. I'm worried that if I did lose $7,000 for real, my cardboard box would have been repossessed. Okay, so I found TWSD stock, and I don't know if I'm just incredibly stupid, but no matter what I did, Webull would just not process my order to buy it. I really did try everything, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. I just decided to check back on the stock later and see if it would have made money or not. Wow, looking at how we would have done, we would have made 4% within the hour. Even if we didn't sell exactly at the top, we would have made at least 2% in gains. I love how the one time I didn't buy the stock, it went up. Overall, it's an extremely simple strategy compared to some of the more intricate ones we'll check out later on. Overall rating? Maybe a 5. We'll come back to another technical analysis strategy, but 10 times more interesting soon. But next, let's move on to Google Gemini, whom I asked to make a fundamental analysis strategy where we care more about the financial details of the company itself. But first, I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, absolutely nobody. It's kinda hard to get a sponsor when your channel only has like 300 subs. If you want to help fix that, then please like and subscribe. I'm literally begging. Gemini's strategy mainly focuses on the price to earnings ratio, which is the ratio between the price and the earnings. No way. The PE ratio serves as a good benchmark for how fairly valued a company is, with a higher PE ratio compared to the average for that company's industry, usually meaning a company is more overvalued. This strategy is meant to be used directly after a company's earnings report. If they miss analyst expectations for their earnings by more than 5%, or the PE ratio is at least 20% lower than the industry average, you should buy and vice versa. Okay, so I found ELV stock and they just missed earnings pretty terribly. Their PE ratio is 17, which is much lower than the industry average for healthcare stocks right now, which is like 26. Wow, it's down 2% on an otherwise green open for the indexes. Impressive. Let's see if Gemini can redeem itself. Forward Air just missed earnings, with their net income and EPS literally being down 3,000% from last quarter. Nice. Apparently they're just hemorrhaging money now. It still does have a very undervalued PE ratio, so this is a great candidate for the strategy. So I bought the stock. I was nervous, but on the surface I looked calm and ready to drop bombs. It almost immediately drilled 3%, losing me $3,000 in the span of an hour. Yay. I guess I did drop a bomb on my portfolio. Obviously, we can't make an actual definitive conclusion based off only 2 trials, but I personally think the strategy is fundamentally flawed. A value play like this is probably fruitful over the spans of weeks, months, even years, as the market eventually corrects itself and reconciles the market value to the true company value. However, it explicitly says that it is meant to be a very short-term strategy, like only a couple hours. On that small a time frame, the short-term bearish sentiment caused by the company missing earnings will probably overpower the long-term bullish notion that the company is undervalued. Keep in mind, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Obligatory, I'm not a financial advisor or whatever. Final rating, a solid 7 out of 100. Okay, so the previous 2 strategies were more short-term strategies. This one, which is generated by Claude, is a medium-term strategy that will be held over a couple weeks. It combines both fundamental and technical analysis, so it'll be pretty exciting. If talking about stock market indicators is your definition of exciting. Claude's telling me it doesn't give financial advice, huh? That's a great sign. This strategy tells us to buy stocks that have, on the fundamental side, a current ratio of 1.5, a debt-to-equity ratio under 0.5, a positive free cash flow, a revenue growth rate over 10%, an earnings per share growth over 10%, a price-to-earnings ratio under the industry average, a price-to-book ratio under 3, and an analyst rating of 5 or strong buy. On the technical side, the stock must be above both the 50 and 200-day moving averages. The 50-day moving average must have crossed above the 200-day moving average in the last month. The RSI must be between 50 and 70. There must be a positive moving average convergence less divergence and an above average trade volume. God damn, Claude, how many factors do you want? So unsurprisingly, there aren't any stocks that fit every single one of those criteria, but by removing the requirement that the 50-day moving average has recently crossed above the 200-day, we get these 4 stocks. I'll buy all 4 of them and check back on the portfolio after a month. While we wait, let's test out Snapchat AI, whom I asked for another technical analysis strategy, but this time to short a stock rather than buy. Meaning that we're betting the stock's going down, just like my portfolio, but not like this channel subscriber count, but only if you subscribe. Yes, you. This strategy is based around the moving average convergence less divergence, which can be abbreviated to MACD's. No, MACD line is calculated by subtracting the 26-day exponential moving average from the 12-day. The exponential moving average, or EMA, is the same thing as the regular moving average from earlier, but it gives more weight to more recent data. We also plot the signal line, which is the 9-day EMA of the MACD, which is already a difference between 2 EMAs. It's kind of freaking complicated, but whatever. Now, the only criteria for the strategy is that the MACD crosses below the signal line, telling us to enter a short position. I know that was a lot, so here's it written out in equation form. I know I literally just said it was complicated, but it seems simple enough, right? Funnily enough, the MACD strategy yielded Mickey D's as one of the stocks, so I couldn't pass up the golden opportunity. For some reason, Webull just does not allow you to short a stock when paper trading, so I'll just buy McDonald's and instead hope I lose money. This is a couple days after the whole E. coli situation, and the stock is currently starting to recover after the initial 10% dump following the news. Maybe the recovery is too short-sighted and it'll dump further? Let's just hope. For once in my life, I was happy to see blood on my phone screen. McDanks was down 3% within a day and I made $3,000. Next, I found CRI stock, and again, we're gonna buy the stock and hope we're in the red. Self-destruction at its finest. I'm sure you get the point by now, so let's just skip to the results. Nothing much happened, the stock just went down like 0.6% or whatever. We didn't make a huge amount of money, but I'd rather have that than the massive losses we had earlier, and that we'll have very, very soon. Rating? It was solid, I'll give it an 8. Just as a reminder, make sure you keep on watching until the end so you can find out how Claude's stock picks did. Alright guys, so we already lost a bunch of money so far, but it's merely child's play compared to some of the degenerates on WallStreetBets. So I've decided that if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them. Yup, it's time for options, and Microsoft Copilot will give us a strategy using them. If you don't know what options are, just go to Vegas and you'll pretty much get the same experience. They're basically derivative contracts that provide leverage on the underlying stock. A call option is a bet the stock goes up, and a put option is a bet the stock goes down. There are lots of factors other than the stock's share price that affect the option price, but the one most relevant for the strategy is implied volatility, or IV, which is a measure of how volatile the market expects the stock will be in the future. If IV increases, the option will increase in value, because greater volatility means there's greater chance the option will be profitable at some point. This strategy uses what's called a straddle, which is when you buy both a call and a put on the same stock. It'll usually profit if IV goes up, since that means that both the call and put will increase in value. So we're meant to buy a straddle on options that are both 5% out of the money on stocks that are volatile, as measured by the average true range right before a volatile event, when IV will increase and make you money. PI stock is an high average true range, being over 5%, and is reporting earnings tomorrow. Options are usually much less liquid than stocks, so it really was a struggle trying to get Webull to fill my order, but somehow, someway, I managed to do so 2 minutes before the markets closed. This is not a drill, I repeat, this is not a drill. Holy guacamole, we just made $40,000. The stock ended up pumping before the market opened, and the puts are completely crushed, but the calls are more than compensated for that, being up 190%. I'm not going to hold them for too much longer, but let's just hold it for like 5 more minutes and see how much further the calls run. What? Literally 7 minutes later, I went from being up $40,000 to being down $30,000. You kidding me? That's literally the equivalent of burning $170 per second. Probably should have quit while I was ahead. Now my cardboard box is definitely being repossessed, damn it. Alright, it's the same deal for CHTR stock, I'm sure you just want to see the results. Damn, is that a 60% gain? The puts have lost literally all their value, but the calls had tripled. Time to see how I mess this up again. No, I'll just sell now. Okay, we got out and we finally made some serious cash. Before we click off the video, let's just quickly check back on the long-term Claude stocks. Damn, I'll take it. 2 stocks are flat, 1 is slightly red, and 1 is very green. Not absolutely jaw-dropping, but I'll always take making any money over the alternative. We lost a bunch of money in this video, and if you want to see more of that, here's a WallStreetBets losses video I promise you'll enjoy. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.